The sprawling marketplace of Avon Prime was a cacophony of sound and color. Alien merchants shouted their wares. Crates of fruit that glowed like suns, cages of singing lizards, fabrics woven from threads of starlight. Humans, reptilians, insectoids, and dozens of others jostled shoulder to shoulder. Kalen, a human drifter with more scars than credits, pushed through the crowd, keeping his hand on the worn grip of the pistol at his belt. He wasn't shopping. He was hunting for work. Any job that paid enough to keep his rust bucket ship flying another week. That was when he saw her. The alien girl stood at a small stall, staring at a display of food she clearly couldn't afford. She looked young, maybe 20 in human years. Her skin a pale violet that shimmered faintly in the light, her silver-white hair tumbling in waves down her back. Her clothes were travel-stained, patched, and far too thin for the desert chill. When a merchant barked at her to move along, she flinched, clutching the pouch at her side. Kalen had seen that look before, the expression of someone far from home, running from something. He was about to turn away when the air changed. A formation of armored soldiers marched into the square, their black uniforms marked with the silver star of the Galactic Federation. The crowd parted instantly. Everyone knew the Federation's enforcers meant trouble. Their commander, a tall woman with a steel-lined voice, raised her hand. By order of the Galactic Federation, you're under arrest. Her gaze locked on the violet-skinned girl. The marketplace froze. Merchants ducked behind stalls. Parents pulled their children close. The girl herself stared wide-eyed, mouth open in shock. "And me?" she stammered. Part 2, accusations. The commander stepped forward, visor glinting. "Lyra Vare, heir of the fallen Dominion. You stand accused of treason, conspiracy against the Federation, and responsibility for the slaughter of 6 million souls." Gasps tore through the marketplace. Whispers rippled like fire. Vare. The name was infamous. Once rulers of half the spiral arm, tyrants whose empire crumbled after decades of war. The girl shook her head violently. "No, I was a child when the Dominion fell. I've never led armies, never killed anyone." The commander's tone didn't soften. "You carry their bloodline. That is enough." Kalen's gut twisted. He'd fought in the border wars, seen worlds burn because of the Dominion. But looking at Lyra now, trembling and desperate, he didn't see a warlord. He saw a frightened girl condemned for her family's crimes. 2 soldiers moved to seize her. She backed away, stumbling into Kalen's path. Her eyes met his, silver, pleading. "Please," she whispered. And damn him, Kalen couldn't stand aside. Part 3, the first shot. "Hold on," Kalen said, stepping between Lyra and the soldiers. "She's just a kid. What proof do you have she's guilty of anything?" The commander's visor tilted. "Civilian, this is not your concern. Move aside or face charges yourself." Kalen's hand hovered near his pistol. "Not until you answer." The commander's eyes narrowed. "Very well. Charge him too." The soldiers raised their rifles. Kalen cursed. He'd sworn never to fight Federation troops again, but his body remembered the old reflexes. His pistol cleared his holster in a flash, and the first shot dropped one soldier before he could fire. The marketplace erupted in screams as merchants and civilians scattered. Blaster bolts ripped through the stalls. Kalen dug behind a crate, dragging Lyra with him. "You idiot," he growled. "Why'd you run into me?" Her eyes were wide with panic. "Because you look like the only one who might help." "Terrible judge of character," he muttered, firing back. Part 4, flight. They ran, through alleys and over broken walls. Kalen led her away from the soldiers. The Federation shouted orders behind them, boots pounding the stones. Kalen knew they wouldn't give up. Once the Federation named someone guilty, nothing short of death erased the charge. Finally, they ducked into a derelict hangar, Kalen's breath ragged. His ship, the Black Lantern, sat crooked on its struts, more rust than metal, but it could still fly. Lyra gasped, "You're taking me with you?" "Don't thank me yet," Kalen said grimly. "If they catch us, we're both dead." He slammed the hatch closed behind them as Federation troops swarmed the docks. The ship roared to life, engines screaming, and with a bone-rattling lurch, they blasted into the sky. Part 5, truth in the void. When the jump drive hurled them into hyperspace, silence finally returned. Lyra slumped against the wall, trembling. Kalen leaned against the console, glaring at her. "All right, time to talk. Who the hell are you really?" Her voice shook. "I told you, Lyra Vare. But I never wanted the Dominion's throne. My family was slaughtered when I was 6. I survived because loyalists smuggled me away. I've lived hiding ever since." Kalen frowned. Then why hunt you now? Because my blood makes me dangerous, she whispered. The Ver line carries something unusual, a gift of mind and spirit. If others learn I lived, they might rally behind me, try to rebuild the Empire. The Federation won't risk it. Kalen remembered the commander's words. That is enough. He realized the Federation didn't care if Lyra was innocent. They feared what she represented. And now I've painted a target on my own back, he muttered. Lyra looked at him, silver eyes shimmering with guilt. I'm sorry. You should have let them take me. Kalen snorted. Not my style. Part 6, Betrayal. They found refuge in outlaw space, docking at a refueling station that didn't ask questions. For a few hours, Kalen thought they might slip away unnoticed. But bounty hunters are faster than Federation orders. That night, while Kalen was checking the Lantern's engines, a squad of mercenaries stormed the bay. Lyra screamed as they dragged her from the ship, shock cuffs binding her wrists. Kalen spun, revolver blazing, dropping two before the others pinned him against the hull. A fist cracked across his jaw, and the leader sneered. Easy credits human. Federation want her alive. You're just collateral. Kalen spat blood. Over my dead body. That was a plan. Part 7, The Power Within. As the mercenaries shoved Lyra toward their shuttle, something changed. Her fear snapped, replaced by a terrible calm. Her silver eyes glowed, her skin shimmering brighter. Let him go, she said softly. The mercenaries laughed, until their weapons ripped from their hands, yanked by an unseen force. Metal groaned as the shuttle's hull warped inward. The air vibrated with a pressure that made Kalen's bones ache. The mercenaries screamed as they were hurled across the bay, pinned against walls by invisible hands. Lyra stood at the center, radiant, her voice echoing with layered tones. I told you my bloodline is dangerous. Then she collapsed. The pressure vanished. The mercenaries fled in terror. Kalen caught her before she hit the floor, heart pounding. What in all the stars was that? He whispered. Her voice was faint. The reason they'll never stop hunting me. Part 8, The Choice. Later, aboard the Lantern, Kalen laid her in the bunk. She stirred, eyes fluttering open. You should leave me, she murmured. Go while you can. They'll come with fleets, with assassins. No one survives standing beside me. Kalen stared at her, at the fragile girl who had just wielded power strong enough to shatter steel. He thought of his years as a soldier, fighting wars he never believed in, running ever since, drifting with no cause. And for the first time, he felt like maybe he'd found one. He shook his head. Not happening. You needed someone to believe you. Looks like I'm it. Her lips trembled, eyes wet. Kalen! He tightened his grip on the controls, staring into the endless stars. By order of the Federation, we're both criminals now. Guess it's time we started acting like it. Outside, hyperspace swirled like a storm. The galaxy would hunt them. But for the first time in years, Kalen didn't feel like running.